Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and hey, if this is your first time here, please subscribe along with hitting that thumbs up button and comments. Love the comments. And if you've been here before and you haven't subscribed, oh yeah, you guys definitely should. We are headed towards 7,000 subscribers to Into the Knicks-Verse. Incredible to think. When I first started this, I only had like 20 or 30 or so. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the enthusiasm the fan base has for this team, for basketball in general, but specifically for this team. And tonight, that enthusiasm was rewarded. The Knicks went to Minnesota and took care of business. 120-107. They actually at one point had a 27-point lead in this game. So they let them crawl back in that second half. Knicks lost the second half, but they scored 76 points in the first half. That is right, 76 points. And it was led by Mr. Julius Randle. 31 points, 8 rebounds, 8 threes. I believe that's his career high. For threes. And let me tell you, they looked great, and they were giving him the shot. It was interesting. That first quarter was incredibly interesting. Let's go to the highlights and watch it. So, in the first quarter, what I noticed that what the Knicks were doing was they were basically, look, we just played the Celtics team. They just watched how they scorched us. So, let's replicate it. And the thing is, people say, oh, the Knicks are a poor three-point shooting team. We don't have the guys that can do that. Totally disagree with that. And I will show you guys some numbers to back that up. We actually have a pretty decent three-point shooting team. In fact, one of the best three-point shooters of the season last season has gone to the bench now. That's the kind of team that this team can be. There's problems with the way it's aligned, with the style of play, but today we saw the beginning of them trying to shake off that old style of play and adopt a new style. Now, unfortunately, it only lasted for about 2 quarters, I'll say. The second half was played differently than the first half. Maybe they ran out of gas. I don't know what the deal was, but they started defaulting back to the older habits. But in the beginning, what I noticed were players making quick, decisive decisions. When they would penetrate, they penetrated with a purpose. If they saw what I saw was in the first half, especially in the first quarter, where they scored 38 points. They scored 38 points in the first quarter and 38 in the second quarter. What I saw was a team that understood that when you drive and you're getting a lot of resistance, if you can start feeling it, immediately look. I mean, I know it sounds so simple, but our guys don't do it. They force the issue and they complicate things. They try to get a little too fancy with their moves. And that not always, but it increases the chances of a turnover, a poor play, a bad attempt, and a late spray out to the three-point line. Because by the time the player has made it all the way to the basket, there's very little visibility to get the ball out to the three-point line. You basically only have the corners. And if guys are cutting off those, the visual aspect of it, you can't see the guy in the corner. So, but if you do it earlier, if you start seeing how the defense is responding to your drive and you kick it out, then you're going to get a nice, good, clean look for your teammate out on the three-point line. And the Knicks actually, I think, I'm not 100% sure, but they connected on 10 three-pointers. They made 10 three-pointers, 10 for 19 in the first quarter, and I believe that was a franchise record. Yes. That was fun. I'm a little tempered because I have some issues with the situation. Rudy Gobert didn't play. So, I mean, yes, Cat played, and Edwards played. You know, Minnesota, I think they had the most of their team, except for Rudy, but he's a big piece of it. Look at this. Nice. Bully ball. RJ. Love this. He did it again. Look at this. RJ, actually, he found... Beautiful. See what he did there? Actually, that's an example of what I was talking about. That's not what you wanted to go that deep. But he he went in deep, but he was in control. He didn't try to force a shot. He regained control of the ball and immediately found somebody open because he turned and he increased his vision. So he found somebody open. That was great. Let's go to the second half. So in the second half, you can see already we're 2 minutes in, and the lead had been cut down to 18, and it got cut. Yeah, it was around 18. They cut it down to 17, and then RJ hit a nice three. RJ's becoming what I call a rally killer for the opponent. I've been noticing that in the past, I don't know, I guess I would say 5-6 games, when the opponent is like on a little run, a 10-0 run, 12-2 run, or whatever, and sometimes there's a timeout, sometimes there's not. RJ comes in and he'll hit a big bucket. He'll drive in the lane, he'll connect on 2 buckets in a row, or he'll hit a nice three, and then Obi. Oh man, Obi. Got a lot to talk about Obi. Got a lot to talk about with this game. Obi played well. Cam started again. Mitch is hurt, so he didn't start, but guess who started? Jericho Sims. He got his first start of the season. He got into some foul trouble, which is expected. You know, what do you? I mean, it's what's expected with him. He played 17 minutes, hit 2 of his buckets. He only got 4 rebounds though, but he played a decent defensive game. But did commit some silly fouls. The Knicks have a propensity to commit silly fouls. Look at that, we got burned there, and then it looked like Minnesota was making a run. Ant was trying to catch a little fire. Look at this play here. Isaiah Hartenstein. He was interesting. He got only 4 points, but he ended up with 6 rebounds, 2 assists. He got a block. The four fouls, but only 1 turnover, which is nice. Let's see here. Derrick Rose, only 1 of 10. I'm not going to panic about Derrick Rose. I'm starting to hear, look at this step back. That was a huge bucket, because right then Minnesota had been, basically slicing and dicing the lead. And then look at that play. Oh, dangerous cross-court pass, but somehow Obi gets his hands on it and just passes it to Brunson for a nice corner 3, which he's one of the best. I believe he's one of the best in the league at that. Oh, but then Cat comes right down the middle. And at this moment, the lead is now down to 15. At this moment, Thibs is sweating it. And then, once again, a Randle 3. Can you believe he made 8 3-pointers? He was shooting in the teens from the 3-point line before. That is crazy. That is crazy. All right, that was the last shot there. That was the last one there. Oh, man. All right, well, the thing is, I'm excited about that. But, is he going to replicate that? I will make a note of this. I'll say this about him. The arena was church quiet at the Target Center in Minnesota. Maybe his ability to hit his 3-point shot is directly connected to crowd presence. I mean, we saw him. I mean, we know the empty arenas during the pandemic, where he went crazy. 40% in All NBA, and then suddenly reverted back last year when the arenas were full. Reverted back to his career numbers, and then he goes to Minnesota, and for some reason it's just a little quiet there. And the Knicks got off to a hot start. He did hit a couple of shots, and then everyone was hitting in that first quarter. And then the crowd just kind of like took all the energy out of the crowd, and then Randle kept hitting. I don't know. There might be something to that. The team is hot from deep right now. Obi, for the season, is shooting almost 42% from the 3-point line. Cam Reddish is hitting 40.7% from the 3-point line. And RJ Barrett, who got off to a stone cold start, is now, in the last 5 games, he's hitting 43.3% from the 3-point line on 6 attempts per game. So it's a decent volume. And even Randle in the last 6 games, his 3-point shot is up to 37.5. I mean, that's not bad. And the one thing is, Brunson's been struggling from his 3-point shot the past 5 games. He's down to 22.2%. Same with our guy Quickly. He's at 26.7%. But see, I see those guys they will improve as the season goes on. I have 100% confidence that their three-point shot efficiency will increase. Will Obi stay at this level? Will Cam stay at this level? That's TBD. Obi shot 40% in college. His shot looks great. You just got to keep shooting it. Cam was actually technically the best shooter of that big three that went to Duke, of Zion, RJ, and Cam. Cam was the best long ball shooter. So maybe he's finally coming around. He's finally worked through that little hitch. And he does once in a while force up a three here and there. Imagine if he didn't, how much better his percentages would be, his efficiency would be. But he's cut them way down. He's cut them way down, and that's helped a lot. And same with RJ. His catch and shoot threes, beautiful. But the one thing I'll say, like today, he finished 3 of 7 from the 3-point line. But one time for sure, he had to just fling it up because the shot clock ran out. It was not a good possession for the Knicks. And I believe that happened another time. So I think twice he had to basically, prayers. He had to throw up some prayers, and those count against them. So, they would have been like 3 of 5 then. So 60% from the field, from the 3-point line. So he does end up, I think the ball does often, when plays break down and Brunson can't get to the hoop, he looks for somebody, finds somebody, and then that ball keeps swinging around. It ends up with RJ, and he throws up these prayers. And it hurts his stats, but overall, he's been really looking good in the past 5 games. I will say that about Mr. Barrett. He's actually shooting 50% from the field, 49.4% overall. He's averaging 21 points per game. And we have 3 guys in the past 5 games averaging 20 points per game. Brunson's at 20.8, Randle's at 21.2, and RJ at 21. RJ is leading with the most attempts, which is how it should be. Really is how it should be. So here, let's look at, even though I've just been rattling off the stats. I mean, look at Randle, 9 of 15 overall, 8 of 13 from the 3-point line. Only hit 1 non-3-point bucket. 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Reddish finished with 8 points in 29 minutes, 2 of 8, 2 of 5. He didn't connect on his drives. Yeah, I mean, he's been doing so well lately, but it wasn't his night tonight for that. Brunson, look at that. Look at that efficiency. 9 of 14 from the field, 2 of 5 from the 3-point line. Look, see what I'm saying? That 3-point shot's going to come out. 5 rebounds, 8 assists. 23 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists for Jalen Brunson. Huge. What a world of difference having a guy like that on the floor when things start getting tight. And when, because that's why I was surprised that we gave up that lead, that 23-point lead to Atlanta, because that's the thing that Brunson's supposed to stop. I think the team has come a long way in a very short time from that game in Atlanta. I think they still suffer from poor communication on defense when Mitch is not on the floor. When a big is not on the floor, especially Mitch, they struggle. They need to have someone on the floor who takes that role of like the middle linebacker or, the strong safety, free safety, or whoever it is that basically makes sure that the defense is aligned properly. Like sometimes the guys just a little foot, 2 feet, to the left, move over, so you need someone like that. I think Reggie Bullock kind of gave us that 2 years ago. Last year, it's hard to say if anyone really gave us that last year, but you had guys that knew how to play the Tom Thibodeau style of defense, like Burks. So possibly it's just guys learning a new system. There's 2 new starters. Actually, technically, yeah, there's 2 new starters. There's Cam's a new starter for the Knicks, and then there's Brunson, and then we have Hartenstein. It's going to take him a little while to figure it out. I still see him getting burned a lot. Hartenstein, still see him getting burned a lot, and I wish his 3-point shot would start coming around. We'll see. He's at 20% right now. Actually, no, that's for the last 5 games. For the whole season, he's at Hartenstein is at 16.7%. That's not where we... That's... Eek. Manuel Quickley played an excellent game from what I saw. His defense was tremendous. There was a possession, I believe it was Noel, or Noel, how do they say it? His one-on-one defense. Oh yeah, it was which one was it? I think it was against Noel. It was just totally, he like smothered this guy. He would not let him get a nice clean look without committing a foul. He did it repeatedly like that. His defense is tremendous right now. He had 1 of 2 of his 3-pointers, 3 of 6. He shot 50% overall for the game, 4 rebounds, 9 points in 17 minutes, and some really solid defense. I could say, look, Derrick Rose, 1 of 10. Missed all 5 of his 3-pointers. He'll come around. 14 minutes. Not that worried about it. But look at Obi. Obi, 10 shots, 15 points, 3 of 8 from the 3-point line. And again, also, he did have to fling. He also suffered from that. There was some very poor possessions in that fourth quarter, and maybe even in that third quarter, where they were just kind of running the clock all the way down before they put up a shot attempt. So that kind of hurt him too, but he was incredibly impactful in that first half. Wow. But look at that. 3 assists for Obi. 8 assists. Look at that. The team finished with 26 assists. That's what we want. That's what we want. Move that ball. Move the rock. Find the open guy. And they did it tonight. Now, this is the disconcerting part about the Randle numbers tonight. You saw how incredibly efficient he was. But look at the plus minus. It was only a +4 while he was on the court. It's because what happened was in the first quarter when he was playing, he was, finding the open guy. And also he was making buckets like crazy. It was just raining threes. The guy was unbelievable in that first half. And then he continued in the second half. But there was a play where he drove, the defense collapsed around him, and instead of getting the ball to RJ in the corner, see, that's the thing. He should already have that in his head as he's driving as an option. He should already understand that. Instead, he got all crazy, and then he tried to find, then Cam was cutting for almost behind him. He tried to find him and turn out into a turnover. I think that was the turnover that resulted in that cat dunk towards the end of the last 2 minutes or whatever of the fourth quarter. And it's repeated mistakes like that. Look at 5 turnovers for Randle. 5 turnovers. I don't know how many points that resulted in. I'll figure that part out. But he should have been a +15 tonight. But because of those mistakes, that's why the Minnesota was able to kind of get back in this game a little bit, make us sweat a little bit, make Tom Thibodeau sweat a little bit. It was his homecoming to Minnesota. I'm sure he definitely did not want to lose this game. But look at Obi, +13. Rose, even though he missed all 5, what was he, 1 of 10. He was a +11. Fournier, a +15. Fournier actually, in that second half, played some, his offensive game was still struggling, but there were times where he passed up a 3-point shot. I know it would have been, kind of a desperate attempt, but I'd rather him take one of those desperado 3-pointers as the shot clock's, winding down instead of trying to make a pass. He ended up in a turnover, easy fast break bucket for Minnesota. But he finished with a +15. He got 2 steals to make up for the 2 turnovers, so it was excellent. He got 3 assists. He got a really nice one. He actually got the steal, and it was a breakaway for Sims, and Sims was coming home himself as well. He had his family there, his first start, and Fournier did the nice teammate thing and gave him the ball. Because Fournier got the steal, and there was no one in front of him. He could have gone up and gotten the bucket. Instead, he gave it to Sims. That was a nice play. That was really good. It was a feel-good moment there. Timberwolves, Towns, look at that, 25 points, 13 rebounds on 9 of 12 field goals. He only missed 3 shots, jeez. And 2 of them were 3-pointers. He hit 1 of 3 3-pointers. D'Angelo Russell, 14 points in 31 minutes. Anthony Edwards struggled in this game. He was basically a non-factor even though he finished with 16 points and 9 rebounds. He needed 14 shot attempts to get 16 points. He only made 1 of 7 from the three-point line himself. All right, let's get to the team stats. You can see the Knicks put up 48 three-pointers and hit 19 of them. Awesome. That would be a little much, but they were hitting them. I think 40-ish is a good number, and they finished almost shot 40% total from the three-point line. Look at the free throws. I am very impressed with the way the team has been shooting their free throws of late. 23 of 25, 92%. Even in that last game against the Celtics, I think the Knicks shot 89% or 85% or something really, really nice. We won the rebound battle, 43-39, which shouldn't be surprising. Well, I guess it is. We didn't have Mitch. They didn't have Rudy, so I guess that's a nice turnout there. But look, you can see we committed 19 turnovers, and points off turnovers were 17 points. They committed 18, but we got 29 points off of their turnovers. They were like coughing the ball up left and right. We took advantage of that. And partially, look, steals, 13 steals. That's got to be a season high for the Knicks to have 13 steals. In fact, let's see if we can pull that up. Figure it out later. All right, what's the final thing? Points in the paint. We lost the points in the paint battle, I think, for the first time all season, 38-48. But that's because we were just raining it from outside. So what I was saying before was we defaulted back to just driving, trying to, force a shot instead of already right as you're about to begin the drive, trying to understand where your teammates are going to be, so that if you spin right, okay, I got RJ in the corner, or if it's RJ spinning right, I got Brunson in the left corner. Or if you spin, if you spin left, he's in the left corner. If you spin right, I got Cam in the right corner, or it's Hartenstein, or whoever it is. But you have to understand where they are. Or if you think, it's just if it can see that the corners are being covered well, and there's 2 men on him, there's got to be someone open behind him. So that's when you can just pause, pull it out, and just dish it out to the guy there. And that's what they were doing in that first half, and they went away from that. I hope they watch the tape and they go back to what was working. This is how this team can be the greater of the sum of its parts. I believe that. We don't have a superstar. We don't have a Mr. Clutch. Well, we do have, Brunson is very clutch. I will say that. But he's not a superstar, but he is very clutch. We don't have those caliber type players, but what we do have is quality. We have quality players, and if they trust each other, this team could rise above. I believe in that. This could be the beginning of a 4-game winning streak. They go to the Nets. They play the Nets on Wednesday. Nets lost tonight. But they play in Brooklyn, but it's kind of like a home game for the Knicks. And then we have Pistons and is it OKC? I believe. So this could be a the beginning of a 4-game winning streak. Let's cross our fingers on that. All right. Well, thanks so much for watching this. Again, please subscribe if you haven't yet, and hit that thumbs up button for me and drop your comments. Definitely love the comments. I want to hear your feelings about all this. Yeah, the pregame shows, it's been tough to pull those off during the week, but I'll continue to keep trying. Today didn't work out, but hopefully I'll be able to put one out on Wednesday and on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Yeah, all 3. All right, thank you for watching this. My name is George. Also, check out the merch store. Got some awesome, cool stuff. Got some beanies. I know it's getting cold in New York. Oh, well. Actually, it was kind of nice over the weekend, I heard. Or, yeah. Anyway, I'll see you guys around the Knicks-Verse.